You're listening to the Libertarian Party of Indiana podcast, where we talk to the individuals that help move our party forward. I'm your host, Executive Director Chris Spangle. You can hear all of our podcasts at podcast.lpin.org, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Financial support for this podcast comes from the 1994 Society. The 1994 Society is made up of grassroots libertarians like yourself that donate monthly to the Libertarian Party of Indiana. To join, please go to lpin.org/join. We thank you for your continued support. Here with Joe Ruiz. Joe, you're running for Congress. How did you make that decision?
I made that decision based on the fact that those that have represented my district in recent history, and I believe that those are going to be going into the race as my opponents now, will not and have not done a very good job. And with those that are running currently for the Republican and Democratic parties, Brendan Mullen, Jackie Walorski look to be the front runners for that. I just have to look at the record of their parties, and I think that that is about as much information as you need to know where they're going to go. Now, with the Libertarian, it's a little bit different, and I would encourage people to look more at Libertarians, and hopefully with my campaign as well, because of the fact that a Libertarian has not been elected to Congress to my knowledge, and we get, to my mind, one shot. And we've got way more to lose than the Republicans and Democrats, and I feel like that should send the message to people that we're going to work a million times harder for them to really restore limited government and to undo some of the bad things that have been done in Washington. And I feel like that's a message that people will relate to. They'll see that people have been doing wrong and that there's one party out there who's got one chance to do it right, and they've got a candidate in me.
What are some of the issues that you're running on? What are your top three issues?
Well, the top three issues for me are the top three issues for everybody else, because, you know, the campaign for the slogan for my campaign is a real choice for real people. And I consider myself to be a real person. I'm a hardworking guy. I have a full-time job. My wife works full-time. We're both graduate students. We raised 2 kids. And so I think that's about as real as it gets. And we struggle just like everybody else. So jobs, restoring free markets is on the table for us, because we need to do that in order to make sure that real jobs are there for real people. The same thing goes with the economy and the current state of things, our dollar being devalued, and also education is another thing because of our 2 kids that are getting ready to go into the education system. Hopefully restoring some sort of sanity in education will be on the table as well for us.
So how do you bring jobs to your district?
Bringing jobs to my district, it's an interesting thing. There have been jobs that have been brought into the district with our former congressman, and a lot of it has been veteran support and different things of that nature. But I think bringing jobs to my district is also the same thing as bringing jobs everywhere, in a sense, because when you consider what a congressman's job is, he gets one vote to make, I guess, his support felt for either free markets or more government intervention in the market. And so whatever is proposed that I get a vote in, I will be making sure that my vote is in favor of free markets, and that's regardless of where the location is. And so people can be certain that my vote going for free markets is a vote for them being able to have a job, and that's in my district and everywhere else as well.
So tell us about your campaign team. How are you building your campaign to have to achieve success?
Well, I saw an article the other day in the newspaper, and I saw it also on WSBT, and it was talking about how much money the other candidates for the other parties have so far reported to the FEC. And I'm realizing very quickly that what I lack financially, as opposed to them, I'm going to have to make up for in sincerity and in real values, and just in being honest with the people and telling them that I am one of them, because it's exactly what I am. So our campaign, my campaign manager, Ryan Lickey, my media public relations specialist, Dan Van Doren, the things that we're trying to project to the public are just that I'm a real person, I'm one of them, and I will do for them the things that they have been unable to do using the old parties as representation.
How did you become a libertarian? Why are you a libertarian?
Well, I used to be a Democrat, and I got into or interested in Ron Paul's foreign policy, which is the foreign policy that I maintain in my campaign. And I read, I guess, influenced by Ron Paul, I read a book called Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. And I realized that a lot of the economic ideologies that I had as a Democrat were incorrect. And that is when I said to myself, well, where do I really stand politically? And I began to read more books. And through my exploration, I decided that I was absolutely a libertarian. And I'm proud to be running under the Libertarian ticket.
Tell us about some of the other things that you do in the Libertarian Party, because you do wear more hats than just candidate.
I've recently become a member of the State Central Committee, which has been a great experience so far. I've got a lot to learn, but I'm proud to be a part of that. I also am involved in the St. Joseph County Libertarian Party, and that's just activism and volunteer work and doing things to outreach to the community.
What is the State Central Committee?
The State Central Committee is essentially a leadership committee, and they make a lot of business decisions for the Libertarian Party of Indiana.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and good luck in your campaign.
Thank you for having me. Please visit Joe Ruiz, that's R-U-I-Z, for Congress.com.
Thank you for listening to the Libertarian Party of Indiana podcast. For more information, please visit us at lpin.org. Our music has been provided by Hoosier musician Brian Keith Wallen. To hear more of his music, please visit briankeithwallen.com or find him on Facebook. Thank you for listening.